So it is now my honor to introduce you to Arun Alagappan. Arun is president and founder of Advantage Testing, president of the Board of Trustees of the Advantage Testing Foundation, and co-creator of the Advantage Testing Foundation Math Prize for Girls competition. Arun graduated Phi Beta Kappa from Princeton University and went on to graduate from Harvard Law School, where he served as editor of the Harvard International Law Journal. While at Harvard, Arun was also an instructor in the math department, and he was awarded a certificate of distinction for outstanding teaching of undergraduates from the dean of Harvard College. Soon after, Arun came to realize, or rather came to his senses, and realized that his true calling was as an educator, and in 1986, he founded Advantage Testing. Arun was one of 7 educators featured in New York Magazine's The Influentials, a cover story identifying more than 200 professionals whose ideas, power, and sheer will are changing New York. Last year, he was profiled in the Wall Street Journal for helping to find the next generation of leaders who will bring diversity, new ideas, compassion, and a different kind of leadership to institutions. Arun has personally tutored, mentored, and guided thousands of students throughout their academic careers, myself included. He has made outstanding tutoring available to thousands more through the Advantage Testing Foundation's partnerships with such programs as LEADA, the Leadership Enterprise for a Diverse America, and Prep for Prep, and through its own flagship programs, our Math Prize for Girls and Trials, the Training and Recruitment Initiative for admission to leading law schools. So a warm welcome to the Trials and LEADA students here with us today, and a very warm welcome to Arun Alagappan.
Hi, girls. For the last few weeks, I've been excited for today. You're all so talented, so motivated. It's a privilege to meet you and to celebrate you. But I had a second reason for looking forward to this event. I've been waiting to share with you 4 bits of strategy I gleaned from the internet to tell you what to do when you forget to do your math homework. Number 1, these are things you can tell your teachers. Number 1, I accidentally divided by 0 and my homework burst into flames. Number 2, I could only get arbitrarily close to my assignment. I couldn't actually reach it. Number 3, well, I had the proof, but I didn't have enough room in the margin to write it down. And number 4, I locked my homework in the car for safekeeping, and a 4-dimensional dog broke in and ate it all up. Okay, now that I've upheld our tradition of corny math jokes, welcome everyone to the 4th annual Advantage Testing Foundation Math Prize for Girls. 265 to 270 of you have traveled from 36 states across the United States and 3 provinces in Canada to take part in today's contest. And we couldn't have asked for more awesome hosts than our friends at MIT. In today's program, we have listed the many volunteers and contributors to whom we are grateful. I do, however, want to say a special thanks to MIT President, Rafael Reif, Dr. Christine Ortiz, and their colleagues for making us feel so at home here at this world-class Center for Advanced Mathematics. Also, the brilliant MIT Math Department Chair, Dr. Michael Sipser, who serves on the Board of Advisors to our Advantage Testing Foundation for Math Prize for Girls. Our keynote speaker, Dr. Esther Duflo, Dr. Tom Layton, and the Akamai Foundation for their ongoing and generous support. Advantage Testing's math director and the driving force behind this prize, Dr. Ravi Bopanna, who dilly-dallied his way throughout his academic career, finally earning his PhD from MIT at the ripe old age of 22. Associate Director of the Advantage Testing Foundation Math Prize for Girls, Dr. Mary O'Keefe, who has been a champion, dear friend, and sister of the program since its inception. Our MCs, Advantage Testing Foundation trustee Lauren Frank, and Advantage Testing math tutor Nicole Palmer. Assistant Director of the Advantage Testing Foundation, Elizabeth Cohan. AT volunteers and MIT student volunteers, Dr. Stephen Wolfram and Wolfram Research for presenting copies of their Mathematica software to all of today's contestants. Finally, to the families and teachers who are here who have supported the enormous talent in this room, thank you and welcome. This coming Monday marks a special anniversary. 150 years since the birth of Winifred Edgerton Merrill, who became in 1886 the first American woman to earn a PhD in mathematics. Despite being a straight-A student in college and working at Harvard after graduating, Merrill had to surmount many obstacles in her academic journey. When she petitioned Columbia University to continue studying mathematics and astronomy, she was refused. At the time, Columbia was an all-male institution, and women were not welcome. The next year, Merrill reactivated her application, this time making an individual appeal to each trustee. She described how she intended to compute the orbit of the Doomsday Comet of 1883. She explained that only Columbia had the telescope she needed, and that mathematical astronomy needed her. She made a compelling case, and she was admitted. 2 years later, Columbia awarded Merrill a PhD in mathematics with honors. At her commencement ceremony, she received a rousing 2-minute standing ovation. We've come a long way since Merrill had to fight to study math, but not far enough. Last year, nearly 70% of the PhDs awarded in the United States in mathematics went to men. Women now make up more than half of the workforce in the United States, yet they hold fewer than 25% of STEM jobs. Study after study has confirmed that the nations which consistently perform the best on international tests in math and science are those in which there is less pronounced disparity between men and women in those disciplines. And the fields of the future, the ones that will drive innovation and prosperity, depend on knowledge and ability in science, technology, engineering, and math. Girls, we need your help. We need you to develop and deploy your intellect, intuition, and imagination. We need you to approach your work with passion and persistence, with courage, commitment, and confidence. That you are here today suggests you are very bright and that you know how to work hard. But should you ever need encouragement to put in that extra hour of practice to solve one more math problem before calling it a night, remember this man's advice.
Do you feel alive?
I feel happy of myself.
I feel happy of yourself too. What do you got, any words of wisdom? What about for all the other kids trying to learn how to ride their bike? Can you say anything to them?
Everybody, I know you can believe in yourself. If you believe in yourself, you will know how to ride a bike. If you don't, you just keep practicing. You will get the hang of it, I know it. If you keep practicing, you will get the hang of it, and then you can get better and better at it if you do it.
Give me some thumbs up.
Thumbs up, everybody!
All right.
For rock and roll!
Girls, being leaders in your field will not be easy. You'll face many tests. Some, like the one you took this morning, will test your intellect. Others will test your resilience, and still others, your heart. You may spend months wrestling a difficult problem to completion, only to find a new and bigger problem at the end. Set your sights high. Disregard all the benchmarks, limitations, and expectations you've been exposed to in the past. Let your accomplishments and our gathering here today serve as a boisterous refutation of all those who would dare you to succeed. The stakes are that high. You are embarking on your academic careers at an exciting time. From computer scientists and engineers to mathematicians, economists, and physicists, a global community of innovators is every day pushing us to work better and dream bigger. Consider today's keynote speaker, Dr. Esther Duflo, a Clark Medal economist whose fieldwork in developing nations is revolutionizing the way we approach global poverty. Worldwide, 1.4 billion people live on less than $1.25 a day. Rather than rely on conventional wisdom about how to alleviate poverty, Dr. Duflo implemented randomized controlled trials in poor villages around the world to find out which microfinancing development programs work and why. Who here will similarly help save lives? In Switzerland this past summer, there was a giant fuss over a tiny particle. Using the Large Hadron Collider, physicists discovered a new particle consistent with the Higgs boson, marking a milestone in how we understand the material world. Who here will advance that work? Meanwhile, on Mars, a sophisticated roving laboratory named Curiosity is gathering data that will help us understand whether other planets can sustain life. NASA hopes to send people to Mars by the 2030s. Who here will join that mission? Perhaps the most exciting part of meeting you today is knowing that not only are you poised to be the next generation of leaders in math and science, but also that as you pursue your own careers, you will inspire others. As long as women have blazed trails in mathematics and science, they have mentored others to follow. After receiving her PhD, Winifred Merrill went on to champion education for women, teaching math at several higher institutions of learning, and helping to found Barnard College in the city of New York. Today, if you visit Columbia University, you will find her portrait on the wall. Its inscription reads, "She opened the door." Girls, she opened it for you.